Yeah, we'll have them locate them in the room. Put Steve over here and you over here. All right, we're going to get started. So good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today in beautiful Orion Township. We really appreciate you coming out, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Julene Dravik. I work for Level 1 Bank, and I'm the VP Senior Banking Center Manager for the Bloomfield location and the Birmingham location. But we are really excited to be here and support Orion Township and support Chris, a big partner, and we just really do appreciate being part of this morning. I want to give you a little bit of an update. You might have heard that there is a definitive agreement between us and Oxford Bank. So we're pretty excited about that. What that means is we're committed to Oakland County, and that also means we're committed to the Orion Township area also. So we're really excited about that. We are the largest, one of the largest and growing every day community banks based out of Oakland County. So if you like all the good things about the big banks, we have that. But we take anything we don't like about the big banks and we left it out the door. And that's what we're left with here at Level 1 Bank. We like the sophistication of being a big bank, the spirit and the heart of a community bank, but an entrepreneurial spirit to help businesses grow. And that's what we're here to talk about today, is growing. We really help businesses with cash flow, finding out what they're trying to achieve and what their goals are, and helping them get there. Because if we help you and concentrate on you and your businesses here in the surrounding communities or Orion Township, that helps the whole community grow. I'm also part of the community, so those of you that serve the community, I wanted to just say thank you very much. I served on Village Council for Lake Orion, on the Planning Commission, and I was part of the Cable Commission. So ONTV, we're glad to see you here as well. What I'd like to do now, and the thing I'm very excited about, is I would like to share Brian Barnett with you, and I'd like to tell you a little bit more about Brian and some of the things that led him to be here today. He was sworn in as mayor of Rochester Hills in 2006, and he was on city council and served since 1999 prior to that. Graduated from Oakland University. He didn't stop there. He actually was the president student body and had the university's highest honor of the Wilson Award. So there's a lot of exciting things that he did at Oakland University. Outstanding Michigander of the Year, which is a very dear award for us in Michigan. He was selected to receive a prestigious John F. Kennedy School of Government Harvard Scholarship in 2010. I have to look down at my notes because there's so many accomplishments here. In 2011, he joined a delegation participating in the Transatlantic Climate Bridge Initiative in Germany. Currently, he chairs the Southeast Michigan Council of Governors Green Infrastructure Task Force. And in 2012, Mayor Barnett was selected as an inaugural member of Oakland County's 40 Under 40, which is exciting. Re-elected in 2011, and he received over 77% of the vote. So please give a warm Orion welcome to Brian Barnett.
You get to write your own bios, so don't believe most of that stuff. I put that together in the car on the way over here. Good morning. Good morning. That was not what I would expect from a people who live where living is a vacation. Good morning. Good morning. Excellent, excellent. Well, it is my privilege to be here today with two tasks. One, I get to introduce a short video in just a second, and more importantly, I get to introduce my brother, who is going to give the State of the Township this morning. It's an event on my calendar that I've been looking forward to for quite a while. I am probably one of my brother's biggest fans, and so pleased to share him and hear what he has to say with all of you today. But before we get to that, I'd like to introduce a short video from your Township Clerk, Penny Schultz.
Hey everyone, I really wanted to be there this morning, but I'm on the executive board for Oakland County Clerks Association, and our membership meeting is this morning. So in lieu of my attendance, I wanted to share these thoughts with you about our supervisor. You might be Chris Barnett if you tell your family at your inauguration that this is going to be a lot of fun and everyone in the room laughs except you. You might be Chris Barnett if you ask fellow board members if anyone wants to volunteer to test the new defibrillators the fire department just purchased. You might be Chris Barnett if you run to Tim Hortons for coffee for 100 people and make it back to the DECA competition before the training begins. You might be Chris Barnett if you ask for a roll call vote at the Township board meeting and hope the attorney gets to vote too. And finally, you just might be Chris Barnett if you're holding your first community-wide meeting and the place is packed and everyone is smiling and fully engaged. Enjoy yourself, Chris. This is really going to be a lot of fun.
Well, great introduction there from Penny. I have been very blessed to know Chris probably longer than all of you, and I find myself a little bit out of position today because I asked Chris to introduce me at my State of the City a couple weeks ago, knowing that I had the microphone last, and whatever he said I could refute. I don't find myself in that same position today, so I'm slightly more cautious in my introduction. Chris and I grew up together, actually shared a bedroom for our entire lives growing up, so there is no one that knows more dirt about him and is willing to sell it than me. Of course, that is also true for him. I am extremely proud of my brother, and not for the reason you might think, not because he is your township supervisor, but because he's an amazing husband and father. To me, that's more important, and I think he would probably tell you the same thing. If I describe my brother in a word, I would say passionate. He lives life passionately, whether it's doing something with his church, something with his 3 beautiful daughters, or his wife. He does everything 100%. And I think that is something that you've already seen in his first 4 months in office, and you'll see as he continues to lead this township. I talk to him all the time. We talk quite regularly, either through text or on the phone. He is here. I think one of our most recent texts or conversations was Sunday night at about 9:30 when he was here hammering out the details of the speech. And I know that he cares about this community. He cares about the families that live here, the businesses that reside here, and I can see that in him. We didn't grow up with any political people in our family. We had a mother who was a school teacher and a father who was a firefighter, and they taught us the value of community service and getting involved. And I think that's what's led both of us to get involved in public service. I'll end by introducing him and saying one thing. We have one thing that we completely agree on together, and that is that our sister, Andrea, is the smartest one in the family and the one most loved by our mom. Why is my family clapping for that? I don't know. Sort of a joke, but I guess they really do feel that way. And so about a year and a half ago, when my sister Andrea, who's here today in the crowd, was considering moving up from Tennessee, she had 2 choices. I am, of course, the mayor of the city of Rochester Hills, and I've been the mayor for almost 7 years there. And, of course, I made my pitch for our great community. And my brother, who wasn't quite elected here but was very involved here and was planning on running, made his pitch for Orion Township. And my sister, being the wisest one in the family, moved to Orion Township. I lost that one. But ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce to you a person who's passionate about his family first and this community a very close second. I'm very proud of him. He is my mother's least favorite son. Ladies and gentlemen, your Township Supervisor, Chris Barnett.
Thank you. That was pretty nice. I had some dirt I was going to spill if I needed to, but I'll forego that at this point. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Quick shout out to my grandma in Florida. This is being watched. This is on live right now. Probably 7 people are watching from home, so thank you for tuning in. But I know my grandma and my mother in Florida are watching, so thank you. I just want to welcome everyone here and say it means the world. It would have been kind of embarrassing. I just saw that video that Penny recorded. She was bummed she couldn't be here. Would have been embarrassing if she recorded that video and there were 7 people in the room, mostly Township employees. So thank you, everyone, for showing up. Before I move on, I'd like to just take a minute to recognize there are so many people in this room, but a lot of our local elected officials are here. So I can't name you all because there's too many, but if you are a local elected official, would you please stand? I see... or if you serve our local communities. It's like we have Independence in Oxford, and then we have with the 2 city managers hanging out over here, James Vitrano and Pete Auger from Rochester and Auburn Hills. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Before I move on, Brian did mention a lot of things. One of the things he didn't mention is I taught him most of the things he knows. And you can see from an early age here, I was teaching him how to put something together. So most of the things he's learned from me. Anyway, I want to start the presentation. And during the presentation, we're going to have... Oh, sorry. Before I start the presentation, one of the things, our first conquest that Brian and I are working on together, strategically planning, is this, shown by this slide. We're in plans of taking over Oakland Township. Early planning stages. We're not sure on the name, but yeah, we're looking at Orion Chester or Orion Chester Hills. So where's Terry Gonzer at? Supervisor of Oakland Township is here. We're coming your way. All right, sorry. Anyway, in order to see where we're going, we have to see where we came from. And our community is rich in history. And I want to take a look back at where we started. As some of you may or may not know, Orion started as a resort community. If you probably can't read that line on the top, but it's a really cool picture. And it says, the most attractive and healthful resort of its kind in the Middle West, easily reached via electric, steam, and good automobile roads from all points. Not a lot has changed since then, except maybe the good automobile roads. But we are a community steeped in tradition. As you see as we scroll through some of these pictures, this is Park Island. This is on Lake Orion. Was originally an amusement park. Many of you from this area are aware of that. Those of you who aren't, now you are. As part of our history, it's a picture of our village in the early 1900s. It's easy to see where the founders and more recently the people in our community have come up with a tagline, we're living as a vacation. Like I said, throughout the presentation, so you don't get tired of hearing me, I'm going to have little snippets from other community organizations and leaders. And at this time, I'd like to warmly welcome our village manager, Paul Zelenik, up for a quick update on the village. So Paul, could you come up and join us? And I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but if you notice the title, it says soon to be former village manager Paul Zelenik, who's moving on to Linden. We're going to miss him, but Paul, please give us an update.
I may be the only one in the room that's actually had the opportunity to work with both Barnett brothers. I had the opportunity to work with Brian in Rochester Hills and now Chris on Lake Orion. I can honestly say, Chris has been very energetic since he has started here. We've really worked on a lot of collaborative projects. We've been working with the library and the school district over the last several months to partner on a number of different items. But he asked me if I could speak possibly just for a few minutes, and I know he's going to limit my conversations up here today because he has a lot he wants to say, regarding some of the activities that are actually happening within the village of Lake Orion. One of the first things I wanted to bring up is the Village of Lake Orion offices are getting ready to move into a new location within the downtown. And it may not seem like a big issue for some people just moving offices, but the village is about to take on a big endeavor of moving to the old Orion Senior Center in the downtown. The structure started with a 155-year-old church, which we are going to move and turn into an activity room as well as our village council space. And we are going to be redoing the Orion Center for our village offices. Part of this move does help preserve the rich history of the community by preserving a building that is over 150 years, as well as relocating our office from a building that's over 100 years and freeing up new retail space as well as potentially restaurant space within the downtown. Within the past year, the village has had a lot of different businesses move in and move out of the community. We're looking at doing quite a number of changes and improvements to the downtown. We just had recently 51 North Brewery moving into the downtown, which is an exciting addition, a microbrewery in the downtown. We're also looking at unfortunately taking down a building within the downtown, the old Whiskey's building, but it will be an improvement to the downtown of the fact that it will free up additional parking for the ideas and plans that we have for expanding the downtown, which will bring additional retail with our promotion and activities that we have that are all part of the Main Street program. Some of you may be in part of that or have actually seen that in action within our community. It's part of our Downtown Development Authority, where it uses the ideas of design, organization, promotion, and economic restructuring with an emphasis on historic preservation. It's really expanded our downtown, it's made our events that much greater, and it makes us really the heart and the hub of the Orion community. During the year, you see a lot of events that occur within our community. One specifically is the upcoming Flower Fair that occurs in May. This year, the Flower Fair has actually been moved to a Friday and Saturday instead of a Saturday and Sunday. It is Mother's Day weekend, and we are looking forward to a lot of people coming downtown for that event. Each year, the Dragon on the Lake event has been happening within the downtown. Each year, it gets bigger and better for our community. This year, they're looking at expanding it even further, shutting more streets within the downtown, and expanding and bringing in more artists and activities within the community. Each year, most of you know that the Orion has a great fireworks display. It's one of the very few fireworks displays that's actually shot over the lake, and it brings people to the community. And this year, it's actually going to be held on the 4th of July, which is actually a Thursday night, with a rain event actually being on the Saturday. We know this sort of event brings a lot of people to the community. We've had the collaboration efforts between Oakland County Sheriff's Department and the Village of Lake Orion Police Department, where we make it a safe community. We lure thousands of people to the community every year for activities such as this, and we're looking forward to doing more within our community in the upcoming years. I know Chris has had a lot of conversations with me over the last few weeks. He's known about my departure. You know, instead of me having the LO on my forehead every year, and now I'm going to have an L, but it's not really what you think. But I want to say that I've had the opportunity to work with 4 supervisors now since I've been here, and I've actually only been here 5 years. We've had some transition, but I can honestly say that Chris is definitely the most energetic. And I think we're looking forward to a lot of collaborative efforts, as I say, within the community, and for a lot of good things to happen. And that's my speech for today. Thanks.
Thank you, Paul. I'm going to get my digs in a little bit here. We know he's going to Linden, and we've heard that. And I've heard some of the top projects on his list are bringing running water and electricity to that community. But I heard the real secret and where he's really going, and some of you know this about Paul, but he is also Elmo. So I think he's going to really pursue his career as being Elmo. But yeah, Paul touched on a great point that I really want to hit on, is that a strong village helps a strong township and vice versa. And I'm all about collaborating and teamwork and working with all the people you're going to meet today to really bring our community forward. So let's move on. I am very excited about what's going on in our community, and this is one of the most exciting things to me. When you look at this map, what jumps out at you? Anyone? Green. Thank you. Yes, I like the green and the blue. That's a picture of our community, and it's an amazing community. We have so many natural resources. Again, living is a vacation. Let's take a look at our culture. Let's look at what makes our community unique. Well, first of all, I believe that if you want to learn the true measure of a community, you need to look at its people. And our people are amazing. And there's a few I'd like to highlight. One of the groups we have that makes a huge impact on our community is we have a very strong veterans group. If you've driven up or down M24, you've noticed our Veterans Memorial. They are a very active group. I would venture to guess one of the most active and largest groups in Oakland County, and we're proud to have them here in Oakland County, but in Orion Township. And Dr. Joe Master Mateo, I don't know if he's here, but he is the fearless leader of this group. who dedicates so much of his time to all the great efforts out there at Orion's Veteran Memorial. We also have an incredible student youth population here in Orion Township. This is a recent article some of you may have noticed just from a week or two ago about a new group that started at our Lake Orion High School, a group whose mission is to prevent suicide. These kids get up on their late start, which is Wednesday, might be taking some of Marion's fire here, and take their own time to make a difference in their building. This is a picture of Stand for Change. There's a big effort against bullying in our schools, and Jeff Sakwa, who's going to be one of our new developers, I saw him here. Where are you at, Jeff? He's not going to wave right now, but he's here today. Great initiative that we took on. Orion answers the call. This is the other thing I love about this community. When there's a need, people in this community rally and stand up. I want to highlight just a couple. Sister Souls is a nonprofit organization started by Lake Orion alums for Lake Orion alums. These three children, Nicole, Max, and Faith, were all diagnosed with serious life-threatening illnesses. This Sister Souls group is a nonprofit organization. Quite simply stated, their goal is to coordinate and host charitable events and pay it forward and inspire others to do the same. We have one of the strongest and most successful Relay for Lifes in all of the state. Last year, our Relay for Life raised $122,000. This year's event will be held June 1st and 2nd at Friendship Park, and we look to top that number. And the next thing is I want to highlight someone that doesn't want to be highlighted, but really, in my opinion, reflects what our community is all about. Dan Dewey. Dan Dewey, a.k.a. the Running Man, a.k.a. the Silver Fox. I'm going to call him Dan the Man. If you live in Orion Township, you have seen Dan running. Dan runs and runs and runs. Matter of fact, Dan has run 68 marathons, and that's not a made-up fact. He's run 68 marathons. But Dan recently has done something that has caught the attention of not just our community, but was even picked up by USA Today and even caught the attention of Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. So I'd like to just show you a little bit about Dan.
I met Dan Dewey. He would come in every Thursday at the same time, about 10:30, and he would order about 14 to 20 drinks. That's a lot of drinks. What are you doing? He says, well, I bring them over to Michigan Cancer Institute.
What would you like today? What sounds good, hot or cold? That's our choices. Hot. We've narrowed it down.
I'll go with a hot tea today, just a regular tea.
And you, sir?
Hot chocolate's fine for me.
Father went to the hospital. I says, do you want a coffee? When there's people sitting beside him, I says, he's buying. I got his wallet. So then anybody that was sitting there would get a free whatever they wanted. You know, I bring it back to him. So it just started like that. I asked him, should I keep going? People enjoy this. And he goes, yeah, go ahead. There's 3 words that I'll remember forever.
I call him Dan the Man. Not only does he bring coffee, he's doing it out of his heart, because what he's doing is just trying to make a difference.
He's now an official caregiver. He's giving coffee. He's Lisa's a caregiver, I'm a caregiver. Dan is a volunteer caregiver.
He's a special person. He was put here for a reason.
Not so much as what he does, but just the way he tries to cheer everybody up when he's here.
All right. We're in business now.
When I came to meet the doctor and the staff, they says, you're going to love coming on Thursdays. It's like, now why would a chemo patient be happy about coming on Thursday? I soon found out it was because of Dan.
Every week they say, but what do you get out of it? I says, I get a lot out of it. Because all these people really enjoy it. And they enjoy some goofball that wears shorts in the winter.
I did have a reaction on my second chemotherapy day, and Dan had gone out to get the coffee, and when he came back, he brought me a rose. And that was really, really, really special.
What touches me is the reaction in each person, to make them smile. People without hope come in here for hope. I'll do it with my last breath and my last dollar.
Dan Dewey, could you please stand up in the back here? I'm going to be in big trouble with Dan. I got to tell you. Sorry, Dan. Please forgive me. Listen, that exemplifies what our community is all about, and I wanted to share that story with you. I had an opportunity to interview Dan at the ONTV studios right here in the building a month or so ago, and he had actually never seen that video. He simply said, this isn't about me. He's not looking for the attention. So sorry, Dan, to put you on the spot, but thank you for what you do. Keep doing it. Let's take a look at some of our numbers. Let's move on here. 35,000 residents can't be wrong. Let's see why. Like we talked about, 4,000 amazing acres of park and open space, 27 links, and you can't see, but it says 45 miles of safety paths. 23% of our community is lakes and park. It's amazing. I think that would put us up against any community outside of up in the Upper Peninsula. Here's just some shots of some of our beautiful scenery and events around town. Not only do we have our incredible Lake Orion, the fireworks that Paul mentioned, which is always a great event, Bald Mountain State Park, even a park for our four-legged friends, our dogs, which is just across the street here. And if you haven't been, I recommend you bring your dog there this summer. It's amazing. I've met people from as far away as Washtenaw County that drive all the way here to allow their dogs to enjoy Orion Township. As you can see, if you can see, this is a map of our incredible safety path and trailway system, which is constantly being upgraded and further grown. Our safety path committee is right now working on connecting Indianwood Road to the Pollyant Trail, as well as we're in a joint effort with our friends and neighbors at Independence Township to connect our two communities. I let Supervisor Pat Kittle know that he can expect all the property values to go up at least 10% once that project is completed for the Independence Township residents. All right. It's our own little slice of heaven here in Orion Township. Grow your family. I'm going to focus the rest of the presentation on two areas to grow in Orion Township, your family and your business. First, I want to start with my family, who's here today. And like Uncle Brian said, they are my biggest fans, my biggest supporters. And I truly couldn't do this without you and without your support. And I'm grateful that you're along with me for this ride. And I hope it is fun. So thank you. So we did what a lot of people did. When we moved here 14 years ago, we tried to decide where we wanted to plant our roots. And this isn't a study from then. This is a recent study I did on my own. It's a very scientific study. But I interviewed 100 people and asked, where's the best place to raise your family? And as you can see, Orion Township is overwhelmingly the leader. It looks like Paul Zelnick voted. We got one vote for Lyndon there. So. Orion is a winning tradition, a safe place to raise your family. I saw Under Sheriff McCabe here today. Thank you for being here, and a few other members of our deputies. This is one of my favorite slides. I've been going and watching my brother's speeches for, 7 years, I guess. He's been a mayor. And he always talks about how the city of Rochester Hills is the cheapest place to live, to do business, blah, 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 blah. Just want to focus here on the numbers, the truth. Numbers don't lie. This is a comparison of our tax rates, and as you can see, Orion, by far, is the lowest tax community of our surrounding neighbors. We're close to everything. As you can see, and some of you have never been here before, but this building is beautiful. I would encourage you to check out the lower level. The lower level is the home of our senior center. Currently, there are 657 members, which is up from 421 last year. And we charge, trying to remember, oh, that's right, our membership is free. So please, at the end of the presentation, take a look at our lower level. We have a lot to offer down there, many classes and other awesome things down there. We also have Wildwood Pavilion, which opened last summer, thanks to the efforts of our former supervisor, Matt Gibb. Matt, are you in the house? Thank you, Matt. we are in the process this summer of building restrooms and concession stands, and a concession stand to further enjoy that. And our other former supervisor, Joanne Van Tessel, had a large part in that as well. Thank you. Orion is a place to worship. I want to highlight one specific church. We have many amazing houses of worship, but this is a place that took a little bit of creative thought. This is a former warehouse on Lapeer Road, and if you've driven down M24 on Sunday morning, you know exactly where it is and what I'm talking about. It was vacant for 7 years. The former board and supervisors thought outside the box, and when they were approached by a church, put together a plan to turn that into this. Kensington Community Church now calls Lake Orion their home. Every Sunday, they're seeing over 5,000 people come through their doors for hope and help. So it's another amazing story about what we're about. Orion Township is the host of the largest lighted parade in the world. Right, Bill Cocanos? Well, at least for sure we know it's the largest lighted parade in Michigan. And it's amazing. We're the home of Canterbury Village. Keith Aldridge, I saw you. Keith, where are you at today? Thank you, Keith. Canterbury Village, right across the street and down the road. We're working in partnership with Canterbury this summer for a couple amazing events, which are highlighted on your screen and can be found on their website. I'm hoping I can get a motorcycle before July 26th because they're hosting Detroit Bike Week. And it's an amazing facility. Orion Neighborhood Television, right here in the same building. They are an amazing partner of our community and are here shooting us live and are hosting our new show, Orion Now. Lauren Denowith of the Orion Arts Center. Where are you at, Lauren? Lauren is here someplace. Thank you, Lauren. It's a place to create. Their signature event, if you are from this area and you've been around in the summer the last few years, you know about Dragon on the Lake, which this year is August 23rd weekend, and it's an amazing event. And I know I'm going fast, but there's so much excitement and things I want to get involved here. At this point, I'd like to invite up Karen Knox to give a brief update on our library. Brief.
Thank you, Chris. I have been the director of the library here in Orion Township for just over a year, and I love it. I have the best job in the community, I think. It's a lot of fun. I get to collaborate with everybody in the community on a whole sorts of different projects and programs. And there are so many things going on at the library. Can I advance this? Oh, it's going to go. Sweet. All right, so there's just a few pictures that I put together of some of the events that have happened at the library over the last couple of years. And I know they're kind of small and hard to see, but one of the most exciting events is that first picture in the upper left-hand corner, and that's from our Battle of the Books that just happened this past week. Actually, just last week, we celebrated with over 200 fifth graders from this community that participated in the event. They dress up in costume, they read 15 books, they answer questions about it. Most importantly, they pick up a book they might not have otherwise have picked up. They like it, they don't like it, they read it with their friends, they talk about it, and wow, let's talk about reading and education for a little while. It's really, really fun. There are so many things that we offer. I can't go through all of them. But in 2012, we had 221,584 people walk in the door of the library. And if I average that out, that's over 700 people a day come and visit the library. Yeah. Also, during 2012, we checked out over 515,142 items. That's 500,000 items were checked out of the library last year. And on average, that's over 1,600 items a day. It's a lot of stuff. And it varies depending on if it's books or CDs or DVDs or what it happens to be. But on average, if those items were checked out of the library on any given day, they saved our community over $24,000 a day had people had to go out and purchase those items for themselves to use. It's a huge value for our community. And I love this quote from Walter Cronkite that's on the screen. Whatever the cost of our libraries, the price is cheap compared to that of an ignorant nation. And I think that everybody here in Orion Township can agree that we like to be an educated community, we like to learn, we like to gather, we like to celebrate. And our library plays a very important role in that. In order to continue doing that, I also just want to let you know about the Friends of the Library, if you're not aware. The Friends of the Library are our main fundraising organization for the library. They're all volunteers. And without them, we could not have done the Battle of the Books. We could not have done summer reading. We couldn't put on most of the programs that we put on because they're the ones that help support us through fundraising for us to provide the funding to do those things. And next month, on April 27th, which is a Saturday evening, the Friends are throwing a big party at the library. It's called Passport to Spring, an evening in Paris. And we are transforming the library into the streets of Paris. And we are providing entertainment, musical entertainment, food, an art show. Our own Lake Orion Louvre will be showing you art from K through 12 students. All of the students, all the grades in our community will be on display. It'll be a lot of fun. We have a table over in the corner. We'll be selling tickets and providing flyers if you're interested. We really hope that you can join us. And we look forward to helping continue the enthusiasm in this community moving forward. So, thank you.
Orion is a place to learn. And I want to invite up Marian Giannopoulos, our school superintendent, to give us an update about our great schools. And what some of you might not know is not only is she our superintendent, but she also is a part-time pit master. Oh, man. I'm going to be in big trouble with everybody.
I can't trust your family. I learned that today. Well, first of all, thank you very much for coming today. I'm really excited to share some of the things that we've been doing in our schools. But more importantly, I think what is the most critical is to see the collaboration that we have created in this community. Some of you may or may not know, but I used to be the superintendent on the dark side out in Oxford at one time. And then I came over to Lake Orion. I'm like kind of like a bad penny. I never go away. And the worst part is I don't know how to retire. I've tried that so many times, and it usually lasts for about a week, and then I'm into something else. But most of my career was in southern Oakland County, in the Berkeley and Birmingham area, until I came to northern Oakland County and Oxford, and now Lake Orion. And I have to tell you, you are absolutely right. This is probably the greatest community here in Lake Orion, bar none. I am just thrilled to be here. As I said, I keep staying and saying I came in as interim, and I'm still here. But there's a reason, and that really is our young people in this community that really make it. And you see some of them are even here today. Some of our students, stand up, our students who are here from the government council and so forth. I mean, it just shows you the kinds of things that we're doing. Sean, do you want to get that movie? It's not in the PowerPoint, if you will, please. One of the things that I've learned is you can overwhelm people with data and just keep showing them, these are the statistics, this is why we are such a wonderful school district. But at the beginning of the school year, I decided to do something a little bit different. And what I decided to do was, instead of looking necessarily at all our test scores and showing those, I would decide I was going to go out in the community and ask people, what do you think of our schools? And so what I'd like to share with you is a short, brief video here of what our community thinks of our school district. So, okay.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 2011-12 school year. You know, as superintendent, I'm often reflective on the kinds of things that we're doing that make us such an outstanding school district. But rather than rest on our laurels, I often sit awake at night and think, what can we do to do things better? How do people feel about our school district? What is it we really want to accomplish as we move through the 21st century? So the best way to find out how we're doing, I thought, was to go out into the community and ask people. So what you'll see now is me on the road as the investigator, Nancy Drew.
Oh, we love it. We love Lake Orion, yes. Nothing but good stuff here.
We're real happy with the school district. We moved here 3 years ago, and the school district was a deciding factor on where we moved.
Excellent.
Seems to offer quite a bit. very nice buildings. And
It's always exciting. It's always never boring.
I love Lake Orion. We've lived here for 14, 15 years now, and they grew up and came through Stadium and Dina through Scripps, and we love it.
I love the students, the schools, the staff. We have very happy staff, always energetic.
The teachers are wonderful. They're so caring and understanding and fun.
I think that's vital, whether it's music or football or basketball or arts. I think we all have to find a way to keep those going for the kids.
This is a good thing to do right here you're doing.
Right.
To give people viewpoints that you may not know.
Right. Well,
I don't know, it's pretty good already. So
Your life easier.
I need more subs, that's all I need.
Okay. I want you to think about your favorite teacher.
They're really nice. They never yelled at us when...
If you keep asking questions to people who don't get annoyed by that, I like that.
They like to help you even after class and before class. They like to have you come in so you have more time.
There was actually math. They explain how we do things and go through it really, so I understand it really well.
Who loves our custodians, the ones that do all the work for us? Our building suite? Any other staff other than your teaching staff that really stick out in your memory?
My counselor.
Okay.
She's really nice.
And those counselors were awesome.
Excellent.
They were very available with a lot of available resources. So that was probably the best thing that sticks in my mind.
Good. Can I pick one up?
Yeah.
What grade are you going to be in?
We're not going to be in any grade. We're going to kindergarten.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm going to be a dragon football player. I'm going to be a veterinarian.
You do? Who loves school? Raise your hand.
Me too. School's the best. I like reading. I like arts and crafts.
You do, me too.
I like playing hide and seek games.
Do you like school?
No.
Why not? Do you like school?
No.
And what do you like?
I like learning. I like pretty much everybody.
First of all, taking care of the students is the first thing that pops in my mind.
Just that you talk to everybody and interact with a lot of people.
Just making sure that, we're working together to take care of the students.
The bullying program, I don't know if we're going to continue it, but it would actually be nice.
You feel taken care of when you know you're safe. And that's not just physically, but also emotionally and mentally, that you're going to be heard, you're going to have a voice.
Getting the kids to understand the need for patience and the need for kindness and understanding toward each other.
Some families take care of each other, and as a district, that's what we've been doing. So.
We get a lot of carryouts from the school too. They'll do lunch. The high school does the late start on the Wednesday mornings too, so we'll get a lot of that in.
You excited about having a freshman this year?
Excited, nervous.
How about excited? Are you nervous?
I'm
excited.
I'm just really excited.
Are you?
Well, I like switching classes. It's kind of a neat experience for me to not have to sit in one class all day.
What was your biggest word when you started?
Getting lost.
Yeah. Friends. I like the teachers.
Oh yeah, I love it.
I'm excited to be back.
Are you?
Excited to see the kids and all the teachers come back, so pretty excited.
Good. How do you think your friends are feeling about starting school?
I'm pretty sure half of them are pretty excited because most of them haven't been doing much at home. Neither have I, so I'm a little excited for school to have.
I see a lot of excitement in the technology area this year, and I think there's a lot of room for growth, and I think we're headed in a really positive fashion.
I'm ready to go for all the kids and the teachers. And
are you excited about school starting?
Yeah.
What are you Orion is new teachers. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, meet the students. I want to meet the students. I'm very excited to see what their abilities are. How can I teach them?
I'm looking forward to expand our cognitive impaired program over at the high school.
And I'm just looking forward to working with the students, possibly helping to expand the bullying program.
Great advice from all of our community, from kids to
to parents, to staff members, to people who don't even have children in our schools anymore. We do have to listen to all of our community, to our kids especially, so that as we start our school year taking care of one another, we can move forward and make this an outstanding school year for everyone. Do that dance too well or too often, believe me. So let me get this down. Sean, I'll let you start that. I share that with you, and I know it was a little bit lengthy, but I really wanted you to get a flavor, because to me the true test is, what are people saying about our school district? And without exception, we are really getting so much positive feedback from everybody. But I do want to share a little bit with you, and first of all, I would also like to recognize our school board members who are here, Mr. Holt and Mrs. Miller, Mrs. McQuiston, and I think Ms. Porter is here as well, and thank them for their really diligence with our community and our school district. And one of the things that the school board does that is very critical is really set some priorities. And I want you to just take a look at what our primary priorities are for the school year, which really is, a school district is really about people, relationships, and most importantly about performance of our students. A couple of years ago when I first started, the school board decided that we were going to really focus in on developing a strategic plan. And so I'm going to briefly just share with you some of the pieces of our strategic plan, because I think that's the most important thing, is to have something that is going to guide our actions so that we can continue to focus on what's best for our students. So one of the primary goals, of course, in any school district is going to be student achievement. And that really is, I would say, the pivotal point of everything that we do, is increasing and improving our student achievement. This one is a tough one, the second one. I'm going to just share with you some statistics just so you have a sense of where we are financially in the district. But I will say that what we try to do is to take what we have and focus those on our instructional programs. And in terms of operations, I'm really proud to say that our schools have been earning Energy Star Awards as well as our Green School Awards at each of our buildings. And this is the key in a school district. I mean, about 85% of our budget is focused on the people. It is personnel. It is our teachers, our staff members, our administrators. And our goal really is to ensure that for our kids and for our community that we have the highest quality staff. And I'm really proud to say that we do have that in our district. And then finally, the key really is how you're going to get this message across to everybody. And so this is one avenue or one venue, and I appreciate the opportunity that Chris and I have here today to just share with you the what we're doing in our school district. But I have a blog that I call From My Mouth to Your Ears, and I called it that because we get a lot of rumors and a lot of information that sometimes isn't true, and I always tell kids or parents, if you don't listen to what they tell us about you, we won't listen to what they tell us about you. So, in other words, you have to be really careful about that. So we really want to ensure that we've got a lot of good communication going on. So let me just share with you so you understand where we are academically. Our students take the MEEP exam, which is the Michigan Educational Assessment Program. And I'm pleased to say that not only this year, but for the last 8 years, the trend for our students is that we outperform
not only the state, but Oakland County in all areas. This is our reading scores, and you'll see that the dark blue represents Lake Orion. These are our math scores, and you'll see not only do we outperform, but we improve from year to year. Science, social studies, and writing. In fact, this year, Lake Orion students in 2 grade levels were number 1 in the county in reading and in writing, and that's out of 28 school districts. And we even beat Rochester. Where are you? There you are. Okay, that's our competition over there. So, and then our 11th grade students take the Michigan Merit Exam, which is the MME in the 11th grade, and consistently we do outperform again, not only those in the state, but the county as an average. Our dropout rate is minimal, and where we do see some, what you'll see is the green. We're about a 95% of graduates. The little bit of yellow is for students who have not graduated within 4 years but are still graduates at some point. This is the key for us right now that we're dealing with, and I just love that dollar bill because that's kind of how we feel, and John Fitzgerald, our Assistant Superintendent for Finance, is here, as well as Heidi Cast, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum, Instruction, and Assessment. But this is the dilemma that we've been facing over the last few years, and that's rising costs, declining revenue, and changing demographics. And that's one of the reasons I'm very excited about being here today, is we really want to start looking at how we can increase people moving into the community and attending our schools. What has been kind of conflicting for us is information. When we determine enrollment in our schools, we get information that has to be really looking at projections and birth rate over the years. We use something called SEMCOG and a report called Stanford. And over the past few years, our projections for students, we've really lost students. And a lot of that is as a result of the economy. People have lost their homes and have had to move to other communities. And we're seeing that beginning to reverse. But we have to rely on those kinds of data and statistics in order to develop our budget. But this was a big hit to us last year. Our foundation allowance, which is the amount of money that we receive from the state, not just in Lake Orion, but everywhere, dropped dramatically. Some of that is a loss of revenue, and some of it is an increase in expenses. But this figure of 7832 is pretty stable, and we do not expect to see a change in that over the next year. So we've had to pare back. Our enrollment, as I mentioned a minute ago, has dropped. We're projecting about 60 less students again next year. Our financial situation that the board is addressing now in terms of looking at reductions in our programs and so forth. The key really is how do we get more students into the community, and also how do we not make every effort not to affect our instructional programs. And that's, tonight we have a board meeting if you're all interested in attending and or watching it on TV. You can watch that and see where we go with our board meeting. But we also have some critical needs in terms of our buildings with facility repair, safety and security. And I do want to make one comment about the support that we have gotten from the township and from our sheriff's department. I have to tell you, in all of my career, I've never gotten the kind of support that we have gotten from the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, especially in these most recent times where we've had so many terrible things happen, not necessarily in our own community in terms of safety and security, but throughout the nation. And I can tell you that Lieutenant Toth, I know you're here somewhere, he immediately came to our aid. We've had all of our buildings now inspected for safety and security issues, to put in place things to ensure the safety of all of our students. But there are a lot of things that we are hoping to be able to put in place in the near future as well that are really, in terms of finances, will affect us. But a sincere thank you to the Sheriff's Department, and Under Sheriff Mike McCabe is here. And then, you know, the needs of our kids. Our kids are really digital students, you know, and we want to break out from being an analog environment because our kids are really now living in a world that is virtual, digital, and very global. And, you know, our world has changed, clearly, but our kids have changed. And so, you know, I carry around my iPad with my notes. I don't have them written, Chris, like you did. I had mine on my iPad. However, I will say he has a Prezi. That was really classy. I'm really impressed with your presentation. But, you know, our kids have changed and we have to change with them. And clearly we have to change our environment in our schools. Technology is not about computers. Please keep that in mind. And you're going to be hearing more from me, hopefully, in the near future about our needs for safety, security, renovations, and also for improving the specialized knowledge and skills base of our students. But regardless of all of those challenges, as you saw in the brief video, our programs continue to be outstanding. This is a picture of Glenn Gilbert, who is the editor of the Oakland Press. The other night, Weber Elementary School actually won first place in the Oakland County Education and Excellence Awards program for one of their programs. Excuse me. Our elementary schools are considered high performing. We win awards. Our students receive millions of dollars in scholarships. Clearly, I don't have to tell you about this. Our programs are among the best in the country. Our high school's named on the honor roll by the College Board. And these are some of the awards we win. You don't do that if you are a subpar school district. We are not. Financially, we are stretching our dollar. Thanks to John Fitzgerald, we've done some really exciting things. We've also saved the community money by refinancing bonds so that we're saving you as taxpayers. But kind of to conclude, we really do make a difference. And as Chris is here to talk about how we want to grow our community, people come to a community because of their schools, as you heard from some of our members. So I appreciate all of the support that we get. I most appreciate our school board. Again, as I don't want to keep beating a horse to death, but I've been around a long time. I've worked with a lot of school boards, and believe me, you have elected the right school board because they really care about your kids. Thank you very much. And Chris, I'll turn this back to you.
Thank you, Marion, and I want to be conscious of your time. The next few minutes of the presentation are the most exciting, so please, I hope you can bear with me. You know, I'm a problem solver, and Marion has been telling me about this problem about students, and we need more students. Chris, how can we get more students? Well, we have a solution, and we have a solution for everything. Not for IT stuff, though. What do I do here? Can you get me going there? Okay. Anyway, I want to talk briefly about what's going on in our community. One of the areas I'm spending the majority of my time in the last 3-4 months is on new development. And so I want to just highlight a few new things going on in our community that will maybe will be one of the solutions to Marion's problem. And I am using paper notes because we're on a budget here at the township. And yeah. There we go. Okay. We good? Okay. Oh, there's Marion again. Okay. Lots and lots, and now I gotta get it to stop. Okay. Okay. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in our community. Lots and lots and lots of lots. Recently, I'm able to make a couple special announcements today of some new developments that are coming to our community. There's 747. Now I can't get this thing to stop. No? Sorry. Yeah. Oh, I need to pause it and just go through it on a minute. Okay. We use old technology here. We're able to announce that there are on the books 747 new home sites that are going to be starting this year. We have a few of those developers here in the room today, and we appreciate them being a part of our community and the growth that we're going to see. As you can see from this chart here, it highlights our housing starts over the last 3 years. And we peaked at 75 in 2012. We're definitely on the rebound. I didn't show 2009 because it was even uglier than that. But we have a lot of potential growth coming to our community. Marion messed up my computer. All right, we're just going to go this way. Okay. A few of those, Pulte Homes. Pulte Homes has recently announced their new development at Scripps and M24. We've received input from the local neighborhoods in that area, and overwhelmingly there's excitement. People are excited to see very nice home sites and not big box stores. This is Stonegate. This is at Squirrel and Dutton Roads. Hunter Pasture, who they are here today, we thank you for your partnership. Rumor has it that one of the streets in the neighborhood is maybe going to be named after one of the developers' favorite restaurants in our community, Culver's. Jeff, are you here? Can you confirm that? Mosherry Homes. If you're from Oakland County, you're very familiar with this name. They build a very beautiful high-end product. They're announcing their new development, and if you drive near Silver Bell and M24, you see that it's already being cleared. Heron Springs, 162 luxury apartments. Part of that development will be a new township park called Heron Springs Municipal Park, which we're really excited about that as well. Grow your business. This is where I'll focus the rest of my presentation. We need jobs. We need jobs. We need people to fill these homes. Jobs are the building blocks of a strong community. But before we can grow, we have to be open. And we are open. At Orion Township, we have a pre-application process. The goal is to set you up for success. That's a picture of Tom Berger, our building official. He wears those white gloves all the time. We have these free meetings. We invite the developers and builders in to identify challenges, to get basically our goal is to get their shovels in the ground as soon as possible, to save them money, to invest their dollars in our community sooner than later. We don't want these people going to Independence Township, Oakland Township, Rochester Hills, Auburn Hills. We want them to come to Orion. So we are open for business, and we have rolled out the red carpet. A few of those in the room that are in the process right now, I hope could attest to that as well. We have 2 overlay districts that I want to focus on briefly. Our Brown Road Innovation Zoning District, started by a previous board and former Supervisor Matt Gibb. If you're familiar with this corridor of our community, the Auburn Hills side is booming, the Orion Township side not so much. We've created overlay districts, which the purpose is to not just restrict to industrial uses or current zoning, but to allow some other mixed uses. This is our other Lapeer Road overlay zone that I have just asked our Planning Commission to open back up and get back rolling. If you are familiar with this area of our community, it's the gateway to our community, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement. Overlay districts don't just restrict use, but they allow us to improve the visual characteristics of our corridor. And that's something I'm going to be working very hard on, is improving our gateway, M24 there, and looking at some expanded uses, which we already have with Kensington Church, Palazzo Debacci, and so on. Another reason people like to do business here, our new water storage facility. I know it's not great to get excited about a water storage facility, but 2.5 million gallons, the largest in the state at the time. We have a few copycats now, making our businesses and residents and our happy and our neighbors jealous. What this allows us to do is to really keep our water rates competitive and low, and that might not seem very sexy or exciting, but it's very important. We've even had, since this has come online, people comment on how great the improvement in the water pressure is. I'm going to highlight a couple businesses real quick here. GM Assembly Plant. This is a great win for our community. They were looking at pulling up stakes altogether a few years ago and moving to Indiana. Through the efforts of Oakland County and the state, we were able to keep them here. And we went through a plant tour just recently there, and they are making a profit for the first time in a small car, compact car platform in North America, right here in Orion Township. It's amazing. They're also going green, and this is a new trend that we're going to be seeing a lot of here in Orion Township. They recently installed a 23,000 square foot solar array called Solar Currents that they are using to power their plant and dump power to the grid as well. Not to be outdone, neighbor across the street, Powers Distributing, recently announced their new addition also with a solar field, 16,000 square foot in solar panels. Powers Distributing is also leading the green charge in Orion Township with the largest privately held fleet of hybrid tractors in the world. And they are currently working on reducing their carbon footprint by 5% this year, planting 507 trees while growing right here in Orion Township. K Industrial. K Industrial, I got into office in November and we heard K was interested in growing. They were looking at England. They had plans to open a new facility next to their plant in England. Well, we got to work. The county, Matt Gibbs' team, Economic Development, Cindy, who is here today, thank you, Cindy, and Michigan Economic Development Corporation, and simply stated, you know what happens when we go to battle with England, right? Well, we went to battle with England and we won, and I'm pleased to announce that Kay will be building their new plant right here in Orion Township, breaking ground hopefully within the next 6 months. MPD Welding. MPD Welding is the last business we'll highlight. MPD Welding is a state-of-the-art facility, believe it or not, right here in our township. They're in the process of adding a 15,000 square foot addition, putting in a furnace that will serve the aerospace industry. It will be the largest in the Midwest. Currently, that business is going to Canada. It will stay right here in Orion Township. Governor Snyder visited us in November to highlight some of the great things that are going on at MPD Welding. One of the other initiatives that we're working with MPD Welding on is a training center. Al Brooks Patterson, our fearless county leader speech, he mentioned that the future of Oakland County will depend on our knowledge-based economy. There's a great need for highly trained, motivated, and educated workforce. So we are in the process, and with Oakland County's help, of creating training centers for skilled work task teams here right in Orion Township. Really exciting. And I want to mention one of our gateways here on the south. A lot of people think it's the sign there. It's really not. It's Culver's. And if anybody's from Orion Township, you know the guy in this picture, Joe Zimmer. He is an absolute ambassador for our community. Like I mentioned earlier, Jeff Sackwell, one of our developers, loves. I would venture to guess that he wouldn't be building houses here if it wasn't for this restaurant. Joe is relentlessly promoting our community. So thank you for what you do. Joe recently was recognized by Craig Culver, the founder. Sorry, you're sideways there, Joe. And presented with the Ruth Culver Award, presented to the franchisee with unyielding dedication to hospitality. And I couldn't agree more. Joe Zimmer, thank you for what you do in promoting our community. They have free coffee there Friday mornings, too. You can drop in and check that out. Lastly, I want to highlight a real exciting movement that's going on in our community. Andy Magnus is sitting here right in the front row. Most of these people didn't know that they're going to put their picture on the screen. I got to know Andy a few years ago. Andy intrigued me. I met him through a mutual friend, and Andy left our community and moved and opened up several businesses in Indiana. And he recently, 2 years ago, decided to open a business here in Orion Township. And when I got to know him, I found out really what his passion is. And the reason he did that is because of all the great things you've seen so far, all the amazing things about our community. But doesn't just stop there for Andy. He wants to foster a young entrepreneurial boom here in Orion Township, and it's already happening. At his business on Clarkson Road, he told me yesterday, I think he's at 99.2% occupancy of a really cool large building. Some of those new tenants include startup businesses like Paw Pods. You may not know that, but that's right here in Orion Township. Infinite Web Design, who calls the Henry Ford and Mayo Clinic some of their large clients. Paw Pods is an eco-friendly, biodegradable pet burial system right here in Orion Township. So it's just an amazing thing to see what's going on over there. I think Wednesdays are networking. Andy has a fridge full of beer that young people get together and brainstorm how we can move this community forward. I get excited about those things, so thank you, Andy, for doing that. Lastly, I just want to introduce Elena. Elena, do you mind if I just zip through this? Where's Elena? Elena, come on up for a second. We're going way long, so. This is Elena Campbell. She's the director of our Chamber of Commerce. And I just want to give her a minute to just highlight maybe the event that's coming up. They do an amazing thing here in our community, but
Yes, thank you so much, Chris. It is so exciting to be part of this wonderful community. My family and I have lived here since 1997, and I have to admit it was the parks, the green space, the lakes, and the school district that brought us here to this community. So we're very proud to be part of it. Since 1950, the Orion Area Chamber has worked hard to promote our local businesses, connecting them with the community and other businesses. Paramount on our agenda is educating the community about the importance of supporting these local businesses. They are our neighbors, our friends. Their children go to school with our children. They employ our husbands and our wives. They support our local community groups, our nonprofit organizations, and our sports teams. Go into Culver's on Thursday nights, and you'll see nonprofit organizations greeting you at the door, serving you your food. And Joe Zimmer gives a portion of his profit from that night back to those organizations. Go into Jet's Pizza on Monday night, and Larry Buss, who was honored as our 2012 Business Person of the Year, is doing the same thing. Buffalo Wild Wings, Dairy Queen, the list could go on and on. I know what Andy does for so many different organizations in the community as well at Greenlight Graphics with free printing and free t-shirts for the anti-bully program at the school district. So these businesses are here in our community. They care about us. They care about our families, and they care about our children. So it's very important that we give back and support these businesses. Did you know that for every $1 spent in a local business, 68 cents stays here in our community? That supports our benefit, our school district, our parks, our libraries, and our general quality of life here. The Chamber, I'm going to close quickly by just highlighting our biggest event of the year, and that is our local Community Business Expo coming up on May 9th at Lake Orion High School during parent-teacher conferences. This 9th annual event features free food samples from local restaurants and pubs, a children's fun zone, flash mobs brought to you by your local dance studios, and back for the 3rd year in a row, the ever popular, especially with the students, Pizza War. Local pizzerias will vie this year to beat the 2011 winner, who was Cruz and Muir, and last year's winner, G's Pizza. A big thank you to our sponsors for this event, the Lake Orion Review, the Oakland Press, Independence Village, and Crittenden Hospital. And we couldn't pull off an event of this magnitude without the partnership of the Lake Orion School District, and in particular the high school's DECA Club, led by Julia Dalrymple. They take on the expo as a club project, helping to develop the theme and taking care of all the on-site logistics at the high school. If your business would like to participate in this event, we have some brochures outside on the table. You can also register on our website at orionareachamber.com. So in closing, I want to thank you for your time today. I want to thank Chris. We are so excited to partner with the Township on so many of the great initiatives that they have coming up. So thank you.
Thank you, Elena, and we're almost done. Yeah, we are thrilled to work Elena and I started brainstorming last summer about all the great things we're going to do together. Great Harvest Bread, one of our new businesses, provided the goodies today. They're great. So what's next? We're going to go through this rapid fire. So I told you about where we are, what we've been doing the last couple of months. What's next? Here's a few things on the list. As of today, we're happy to announce, out with the old. Our old website is gone. Thanks to our friends at Skate Technologies, Buzz FM, who are here today someplace. Thank you. This is what our new website looks like. That's a beautiful shot of Canterbury Village. So check it out. And if there are bugs with it, please let us know. Youth Council. Kevin Kopak, who's a youth and government leader at the Orion High School, and I have met, and we're talking about getting our youth involved. It's very important to me that the next generation has buy-in and has interest in our community. Meaningful interaction, meaningful involvement in decisions that are currently made. That's coming. If your kid is interested, please email or call me. Making friends with our neighbors, who a lot of them are here and some left. We are fostering some incredible relationships with Independence, Oxford, Oakland, Rochester Hills, Auburn Hills. Collaboration, not just with our neighbors, but with, we've already signed some contracts that save us a lot of money in partnership with other municipalities. Orion Now, my crack at a TV show. We'll skip over that one. Business Roundtables coming soon. We'll skip over that one. Baldwin Road. We have an approved plan I put on the back of the wall if you're interested in checking it out. We need the money. We need to find the funds, but that's going to be a huge thing to bring our community forward, is improving that corridor. And I'm going to work tirelessly over the next 3 years to help make that a reality. The best team in government. I know some of the staff had to leave and go to work, but we're having a blast. I see Dan Kelly, our attorney. Thanks, Dan. If you work for the township, can you stand up for a moment? Or if you're on the township board? That's why there's so many people here. Thank you. They're bearing with me, but I'm a little bit of a different type person. We're high energy, fast paced, we're getting stuff done. Not that things didn't get done before, but I appreciate you teaching me, being patient with me, and allowing me to be myself. So thank you for your support. And last thing I want to end with is, if this can't be fun, then I don't want to do it. And this is the guy you elected. I have a trampoline in my living room. And so we're having a lot of fun here in Orion Township. I'm going to show you our brand new, which will be on our website probably sometime today, promotional video. We'll end with this. And I want to thank everyone for coming out. Thank you for the staff here at the Orion Center for putting this great presentation and spread out for us. Thank you to Level 1 for partnering with us. Thank you to Marion, for all our community partners. I look forward to the next 3 years. It's going to be action-packed, a lot of fun, and join us for the ride. Check out this new video that our friends at
Why choose Lake Orion? Lake Orion has all that a growing business or a growing family could ask for. Everything from recreation to shopping is within a short drive. Schools that consistently rank among the best in Oakland County and the state of Michigan. Affordable housing to luxurious lakefront living. World-class golf and miles of groomed trails for the outdoor enthusiast. Township, county, and state parks right at your doorstep. A cozy downtown full of unique shopping and dining opportunities. Lake Orion has open spaces with the convenience of walkable safety paths that can take you virtually from one end of the township to the other. Our community is proud of its diverse cultural and religious makeup. Located in Oakland County's world-famous Automation Alley, Lake Orion is home to cutting-edge industry with access to a highly skilled workforce. Need to travel for business? Lake Orion is close to 2 major interstates and 2 airports geared for the business or international traveler. Current residents will tell you, when you move to Lake Orion, you'll be a resident for life. Come see what Lake Orion has to offer at oriontownship.org. Your new hometown is waiting for you.
Who wouldn't want to live there? In closing, I just want to invite you to grab some of the promotional material. The school district has put together a really neat piece, especially if you're looking to build here for some of our development friends or realtors that are in the room. Please grab those because it's a great tool to assist you in promoting what you're trying to do in our community. Julene brought up these 10 bags. I think they have $100 bills in them.
There's a flash drive and some other level 1 things.
Level 1 things. So I'm just gonna do this real quick.
Remember the people that registered, so thank you for registering. You now get a chance.
Well, how about we just pick 10 names and they can walk out and see if they want on the way out? Is that okay? Oh no, I'll do it like this. All right, 69. Lauren Denowith, 112. Andrew Milia, 71. Janet Wolverton, my neighbor, 6. Dominic Mosheri. Dominic, you need that flash drive for your blueprints. 108. Alan Curtis, 2. Matt Danaskis, 31. Shannon Grease, and I think that's 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, 80 and 109.
80, we had 2 more.
Kim Basil, and 109. James Jenkins. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our presentation. Thank you so much. And in the words of Philip Phillips, he wrote this song for Orion Township. See if it works. Thank you.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down